Hi, my name is Eitan, I'm the director of Sissy, and I'm here for Tinsel Tine's 5 questions for indie filmmakers. And here's my answers. Yes, Sissy is a story that was inspired by my personal life after the loss of my mom. It was the very darkest time, and I really flipped the switch and I went deep down the rabbit hole, and I wasn't able to talk to people, I wasn't able to face reality, I stopped writing, I stopped directing, and I was just like throwing my life away, and I was unable to process the loss of my mom. Then, thanks to the help of a 7-year-old little girl I bumped into, she was like a godsend, because thanks to her I was able to come back to life and to face reality and to process the grief. And she made me see life from a different perspective, and she made me see the beauty of life that we have, and we must do it for ourselves, but also and firstly to the people that we love. And I was throwing my life away, and I wasn't doing any good to me, but firstly to my mom. And this 7-year-old little girl is pretty impressive. She was the one that made me realize all that. One day she said, "You can't live like that," and I was like, okay. And then I thought that this story was so special that I wanted to share with the audience, because my mom was everything for me, and thinking of a life, a new life without her was something that I could have never imagined. And it's thanks to this little girl if I was able to pull myself together and start living again and come up with this story that means a lot to me. The heart of the story is that when our dearest, when the people we love die, they are not gone for good, but they still live within us in a way, and they may be somewhere else in another dimension. And that's how I like to picture my mom. I dreamt of her as a 7-year-old little girl, actually, who lives in a beautiful garden surrounded by waterfalls with birds chirping and butterflies floating all over her, while she's swimming in a beautiful and immense sea. And this is just the way I want to see her today, and all I want is to do everything I can in her memory, and I want to take Sissy before the audience, and I just can't wait to know what they think. I feel that music is the most important and most special part of the process when you make a film, and it's something that can take the film to a higher level. And I'm usually hit by something, or there's music going on in my mind when I start thinking of a movie. And this time I'm very happy that I had the chance to work with Avi Belleli, who's a wonderful composer from Israel, whose music I happened to listen on a movie that I was watching, and I was just so mesmerized and astonished by his music that I thought that I had to reach out to him immediately, which I did. And he actually replied right after, and I was very happy and surprised that I got to know him so quickly, and we bonded right away. We started talking about life, about my project, and we share a lot, actually. And I'm very happy that I had the chance to have his soundtrack on Sissy, and this is something magic that I believe took it to a higher level. So I'm very grateful, and Avi and his magic touch, his Middle Eastern touch with his violas and his piano, his strings, it's something really magic, and I'm very happy that I had to get to know him and I could have his soundtrack on this film. I don't think there was actually a moment in which I thought about giving up or that I was not gonna finish the film. Probably because there was so much magic around the project, around the people that were involved in it. And we all thought that there was some kind of higher power that was looking out for us and for Sissy. And I have an idea, but yeah, I believe that my mom is like, and all the people that we love are like someplace above, and they're like watching over us and looking out for us. And I believe this was the magic behind Sissy, and no, I feel that this was something that I wanted to give a voice to. I wanted to give life to this film, and I wanted to share it with the audience, and I'm very happy that I was able to pull it off. Oh yeah, there's so many people that I should give a shout out to and thank. who helped me making this film the way I wanted and pull it off. First of all, the first person that comes to my mind is one of my dearest friends. Her name is Barbara, who was actually the very first person who read the story after I finished the first draft. And she sent me an email saying that the story was magical and that it was something that I should have shared with the audience. And receiving that email was so important for me, that gave me so much strength, and it's only thanks to her if I was able to start thinking about turning the whole story into a movie. And then I went to the actors. I spoke to the lead actor, Vincenzo Vivenzio, who plays the main character, and then I shared the story with the little girl. And of course I didn't tell her the whole story because it was too delicate for me, and also because she was very little and she was full of joy and happiness that I couldn't really talk about the real story. But she got me right away. She knew what I wanted to say with the story, the message that I wanted to bring across. She was way smarter than me and than anyone else around me. And I was so impressed that she just grabbed my hand, she grabbed me by the hand and she said, "We gotta make this film." And that's when something magical started happening. And there's so many people that I want to thank. There's like the production team, Martina Borzillo, the producer. She read the script and in less than 2 months we were filming. And also our editor, our costume designer, our colorist, our DP, so many wonderful people around this project. The other two actors, Fortunato Cerlino, who plays the father, and Mirella D'Angelo, who plays a very special role. And last but not least, my soulmate and the marvelous choreographer Anna Cuocolo, who gave life to Sissy's character. It wasn't easy at all because I asked her to have some kind of fairy princess who dances and floats and bounces all around the room, and giving a voice to this character was something magical. And thanks to Anna, I was able to see the little girl I saw my mom in the shape of when I dreamt of her. I was able to see this on screen, and when I saw the first rehearsal with the little girl dancing and floating and bouncing in the room, I was so impressed. I was so astonished. It was really breathtaking and jaw-dropping, and I couldn't talk. I couldn't really talk, and I thought this is the start of something special, and I believe that my mom would be very happy about it. And Sissy is a very special thing to me, thanks to all the people that helped me make it the way it is. 5 films that inspired me the most and that made me realize that I wanted to be a director. Oh wow, that's a pretty tough question. I mean, I'm so in love with films, I'm in love with so many directors, screenwriters and authors that it's just so hard to come up with only 5. But I would like to give it a try. I would say the first would be Federico Fellini's La Dolce Vita. I saw the film for the first time when I was 4, and I would love to put that together with all movies by Ettore Scola. Ettore Scola is one of my favorite directors, and I grew up with his films, so I would say the first film for me would be both Federico Fellini's La Dolce Vita and Ettore Scola's movies. The second would be Ang Lee's Brokeback Mountain. I'm so in love with Ang Lee's cinema, and his touch is just magical. The third would be actually 2 movies by Gus Van Sant, and they are Good Will Hunting and Finding Forrester. Also, Gus Van Sant cinema was very important for me when I started thinking of becoming a director. And the fourth would be Monsieur Ibrahim et les Frères du Coran, which is a French movie starring Omar Sharif, and his role is very special. His character is unbelievably beautiful and amazing, and I always think of his character when I have to write something powerful. Someone that loves other people unconditionally and at the same time a mentor and a role model. And that film was very important for me. I had the chance to watch it alone in a movie theater when I was, I believe, 13. I was very, very young, and that movie was very important for me and forged me in a way. And the fifth would be a whole collection by Pedro Almodovar. I'm so in love with his films, with his cinema. and it's something very important for me that I could grow up with his films, and he's such a genius. I would say Almodovar would be my fifth. Fifth.